Welcome to the Beyond Cinema and Bio.com studio up here at Tiff. Joel, Nick, Bobby, Rose, Mr. Ross Katz. Congratulations on being here with your film.
Thank you.
Talk to me. It seems like you've had you've either got multiple personalities or you've lived a lot of lives in one. How is it kind of coming into this process as the director?
It's very different. I loved producing movies. I had a great time, kind of travel around the world. But my heart is really in directing.
No, he means what's it like having multiple personalities?
I have multiple personalities, but that's for another discussion.
Just bragging about going around the world.
Yeah, I traveled around the world.
I've been able.
Is that what it is?
That way?
Yeah.
It's
That was
really
always his
just
big
been a fairy tale of a life over here.
But that was always his big note to us. He's like, can we just sort of go around the world? Like,
Yeah, that's how it's the way we talk between takes.
Was producing always a step to directing, or did you catch the bug somewhere?
I think so.
He caught
I
it in
did-
St. Petersburg. Where
A wonderful restaurant.
Yes, it always was.
And who would you say you learnt the most from in terms of people you worked with?
Well, I was a runner and a PA for Sidney Pollack, and that was life-changing experience. I learned a lot from him.
And so going from this to Nicholas Sparks' adaptation is a natural transition?
It's different.
well, Nick
but
Sparks
it's cool.
is known for his hilarious movies.
Well, you guys know each other, right? Because you're both...
We're in the
both
Nick Club.
Nicks.
Yeah.
do you think directing the Nick Sparks will be different from PA?
Yeah, I think it'll be different. Different from auditioning.
Let's talk about auditioning, guys.
Did any of you audition for this, or was it a case of one person knew another person knew another person and all in?
Actually, this was the
Ross auditioned.
luckiest
Yeah.
thing I auditioned. This was the luckiest thing in the world for a director to inherit this cast.
That's true.
Bobby, did you know about it because of the writer from Nurse Jackie? Did she bring you in, Liz? Or?
Not quite, although
Yeah.
Liz claims that she was about to call me. But no, Rosie was. I read the script and she said to me, "My God, this character's like you." And his name was Bobby originally, and then and I read it and I was like, "Wow!" It's like I'd already worked with Liz and I agreed with her. I said, "Wow, it seems like a part kind of written for me." And then it turned out that she'd written it for me.
Yeah, we had written as we were conceiving of all of it. Bobby truly was written for him. We needed to find my sister first, and obviously Rose and I look a lot alike, and so it was an obvious choice. And when we sat down, she'd said, my boyfriend would be great for this, and I asked who her boyfriend was. She said Bobby Cannavale, and I was like, we wrote the part for him, and we had met we'd met like maybe 6 months earlier in Kansas City. I feel like.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how all the pieces came together.
And Nick actually came up with the story.
Yeah.
And so we just slowly put the team together, and at every stage where there were really nice connections of either I knew people well or we had met, Rose and I had met, I think doing like a Q&A on Get Him to the Greek, and then people like Joel and all the other really funny, talented people that are in the movie. It just sort of came together through that.
So is it a case of, when you get a project like this going together, do you go out and seek people you haven't worked with before, or is it a chance to kind of bring in the family and the friends?
It's a combination of both. I mean, we knew each other not very well. It was for me, the opportunity to work with people like Rose and Bobby and Joel, Joel and I had worked together a bit. The more of the supporting cast were friends who were we were calling in the favor to someone like Joel to come in for a couple days to help us out. And Mantzoukas, Mike Birbiglia, Bobby Moynihan, Jane Krakowski, Paula Garces. Paula I didn't know. She auditioned and did a great job, but she didn't. I'm sorry. I don't remember exactly. Josh Charles. I called in a lot of favors, and it allowed us to have a great ensemble. But Rose and Bobby specifically, I just had admired their work both comedically and dramatically, and felt like there's a lot for me to learn from both of them, and they just also this is a movie that's for the love of the game, you know, and for people, we're trying to make a movie on a small budget and trying to get good people to do it. You have to get people who are willing to have a cubicle to change in. They don't get a trailer. We're shooting in the dead of winter in New York, in the coldest winter that I've ever been a part of. And I grew up in New York, and you just need people who are psyched to make a good movie and then, you know, do it as a team. And I think that was the beauty of the assembling it. That's where you get the advantage of friends and family, and also people who just want to make good movies, that we were able to do it and do it on budget and on a very tight schedule.
Very cool. And for you, I mean, who does this type of movie best?
Well, Mark Duplass, who was the first person I approached about the movie, is my castmate on The League. And I had the idea, and I was thinking about what kind of producers could be helpful in this. And I was like, oh, right. Yeah. No, hold on. I'm about to get into process. But I talked to Mark, and nobody understands this landscape of making a movie this size better than Mark. And so he's been really helpful throughout and helping put the team together and just tell the story as efficiently as possible.
And Rose, for you, I mean, obviously Bridesmaids kind of put you in the kind of comedy realm pretty solidly, and then I love the fact that you were on Neighbours, but not the Australian version. And the less hilarious.
He's been to Australia, by the way.
Yeah, he's been.
I've been a couple
You
times.
went.
And the less hilarious Place Beyond the Pines. For you, is when you get a choice of project, is comedy now your strike zone? Like for you?
Well, what was so beautiful about this script that Liz and Jeff wrote was that it really straddles those two worlds. Is that it was clearly really had a lot of humour in the characters and in the situation, but was a really dramatic story in many ways, which is like such a gift to read something like that, which is for me always the best things. It's like, you know, they come from the same place, the drama and the comedy. So this was kind of interesting.
And any hesitation in bringing on board someone who you know so well?
No, it really wasn't, because I read it and it was so clearly, and it really was written for you, but I was like, this is a really, really great script, and you've just got to read it in any case, because it's so funny, because this character kind of, it's written, it's your name, and there's a lot of your kind of humour in it, and
We saved them a lot of money on.
and I think also, exactly, it was a commute issue.
Yeah.
Commute issue.
Like,
But
local
just to
hire.
say, Rose was hilarious on Damages. It's one of the funniest.
Well, it's one of the funnier shows.
Yeah.
My
Fun
kids
videos.
love that show.
It really relates to kids and adults.
But did you change the name of the character then? You said it was
Yes.
called Bobby.
Yeah.
Why did they do that?
Danny.
I thought it was too weird.
We just thought it was a little weird to have Bobby playing Bobby.
And none of us got our
Nice
own
to play
names.
somebody with a different name.
Yeah.
It was going to be Sheila for a while. Right?
His name was Bobby Cannavale, which was
Well, there was an I. It was an I on the end.
Joel, we don't feel like you get to weigh in a lot, but on this, on that end of the spectrum over there.
Welcome.
Tell me about your process.
My process?
Yeah.
I just snort a lot of cornstarch.
Yeah.
I snort a lot of cocaine in it, so and my sinuses became very irritated.
Ooh.
I
High
felt,
fructose cornstarch?
no, just sugar-free cornstarch. I didn't want the carbs. I mean, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I did it because it's Nick, and I wanted to support his movie, and I got the opportunity, as I said, to irritate the shit out of my sinuses, and to the point where I had to stop snorting it. I felt like Chevy Chase too much, and so it was really fun. And then to be in the scene with Rose, and I refused to be in the scenes with Bobby, so
There's a lot of bad blood here. A lot of bad blood.
I was supposed to get Andrew Dice Clay's part in,
Blue Jasmine?
Yeah, in Blue Jasmine, and that's where I did audition for it. No, and so I was here to support the movie and all that stuff.
And final note down the line, comedy icons for each of you?
Boy, other than Nick Kroll,
Mm-hmm.
Not in the...
I'll say John Cleese, because he's like my absurd comedy dad, I'll say.
Cool. Nick?
And these jokesters in Washington. Bill Murray, was a big guy for me. And on the character front, Rich Little.
It's all
Just thrown under the bus.
The DVD box sets.
What a jerk.
Bobby?
Probably Bill Murray, Al Pacino.
Hilarious.
Dog Day Afternoon.
Pretty funny, Dog Day. I saw Dog Day Afternoon, a re-release like 5 years ago. They did like a cleaned up print, and I took my son. He was like 10 years old or 11 years old at the time, and it played. It was at the Film Forum, and it was sold out. It was packed, and it played like an Adam McHale movie. I mean, it
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, man,
Really?
it was hilarious. It was really funny. And again, that thing about like desperate. This guy was so desperate, like he didn't know how to rob a bank, and it played really, really funny. So I think Al's.
There's that
very
documentary.
funny.
Have you seen the documentary that's out now? About
Yeah, the dog.
Yeah, the
Oh,
guy.
the dog. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be great.
Yeah, it's cool. Rose?
I've always been a huge Julia Louis-Dreyfus fan. I think she's pretty incredible. Yeah.
Mr. Katz?
Bill Murray.
Very nice. Well, thanks for coming in, guys. Congrats again. Enjoy the premiere.
Thanks.